I am going to do a sweet watercolor version of this pencil sketch, and it's going to be the easiest, cutest little owl you've ever seen. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to Deliberately Creative. I'm Stephanie and I am here with a sweet, fun little owl. I'm excited. I'm going to get off of here because my shirt is like almost green screen. So we're going to do this cute little owl. We are not going to draw him. I'm going to show you the fastest, easiest way to get him in. I'm doing it with Core watercolors, and I have these colors here in front of me, and they are from the tubes, and I just squeezed a little bit into some pans and made my own little palette because I couldn't go and just spend that kind of money on a palette. I just couldn't do it. I'm going to show you here. Looking at this guy, he's basically a sort of a squished rounded rectangle. So I'm going to go on here and just put a squished rounded rectangle of water. And my cup is a little bit dirty. It's okay. I've been doing some other watercolor stuff. So I'm gonna squish him out just a little bit. Ah, there we go. See, with a little bit of dirty water like that, you can actually see my squished rectangle. I am taking a little bit of this burnt sienna, and you know, the water is on here. It's nice and wet. I'm going to just drop this on. Whoosh. Look at that. See how that just went shoo. I like that. I want to grab some of this Van Dyke brown and put some of that in right here. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And you see how we're already getting the shape of his feathers and such. And I don't mind that it's sort of pooling down here. It's kind of like his little feet are sitting on a branch. All right. I do want to add a little bit of, I'm taking some nickel azo yellow. I'm just going to put some of that in here. Kind of where his eye area is going. Ooh. And I've got it kind of coming over the top edge of his wing even. Now this is going to dry, and then we will put more on here, but maybe putting a little bit of that quinacridone gold right here. Ooh, who would have thought that color, huh? And before this is too dry, I'm actually going to take my paper towel and blot out. Look at that. Now I'm painting on the Hanamule watercolor postcards right here. Oops, took a little too much. Look at that. We can put some back. Paper is still wet, so if I put a little bit back here, it is going to feather out a little. Feather out on a bird. Ha. I'm going to bring some of that up around. And if you look at this, we're getting some really interesting sort of separation. I'm not sure exactly what granulating is. I know that it's sort of the separation of the colors, but I didn't think that the core colors granulated that much, but maybe they do. I just haven't used them. I'm just dabbing just a little bit, soften those edges just a little bit. We're going to dry this. I'm using a little heated craft tool to dry. So I'm going to dry this real quick and we'll be right back. So this got really warm and the tape started popping loose. I'm not putting a an overall background back here. So this tape is just to hold it down and keep it from blowing around. Now I want a little bit darker down here on his upper shoulder. So I'm taking some of the burnt umber now. And right here, I'm just sort of dabbing in a little bit of the shadow right here under that eye. A little bit of the shadow right here. Give him a little bit of some fluffiness coming out around the edges. And then I am going to soften that up. I'm using the Zen Art number 8 round. It's a faux squirrel brush. It's lovely, vegan friendly, animal friendly. They did send it to me for free, but you know, just to see if I liked it or not. They did not ask for a review or anything. I have done kind of a little review of it or mentioned it on another video before. See, I'm just smoothing that out just a little bit, softening it up. And that color that's on my brush, I'm just going to take right up here above his eyes and give him a little bit of texture above the eyes area. This is the burnt umber. I'm going to take a little bit of that, kind of using the brush sideways and giving me the idea of feathers. I'm not too worried about making them perfect. Kind of the idea of some feathers though. And look, I have a little feather that decided it was going to come all the way off below his body. Cool. And now I want to put a touch just for his beak. I'm taking that burnt umber and making a really long sort of seed shape and leaving a highlight in the middle of it. So leaving it uncolored in the very middle. Take a little bit of that burnt umber again up here at the top. Since I still have some on my brush, no sense in wasting it, right? Just getting a little bit more detail up here above. And I think I'm going to go ahead and give him a little bit of some shadow. I'm going to take some water right in there and soften that out. This is the area below his eyes that's going to have some shadow. This is 100% cotton paper, yeah. So if you're interested, that's what that is. These postcards are about 110 pound? 100 pound, 110 pound. Now that's really wet and it's really kind of strong. Look at that. Boom. Soften it up a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some color down here for his eyes. We're starting off on his eyes with the cadmium yellow primrose. I want a really, really, really bright yellow in here. Just like that. Try and get them sort of even. A little bit of the pyrrole orange. That's this color right here. It looks like a dark red, doesn't it? And I'm just going to touch around and kind of let it bleed in. There we go. Just let it bleed in. There's going to be some nice black dots in the center, which is just going to give it so much character. It's nice and dry. I'm going to take some black And now go in, just tap, tap, tap. And right here, go in and tap, tap, tap. Oh, so cute. I hope you're enjoying this. If you are, make sure that you click that like button. Subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, you know, all the regular things. I'm just taking a little bit of that black since I've got it and putting a little bit into the wing. See? Doesn't have to be a lot. We're not going to outline everything. I'm not even going to leave it that strong. I'm going to take and, ooh, look at that. You put a little water on it, it goes whoosh. And it becomes much more of a shadow in there. I love these core colors, the core paints. There we go. I am not putting any ink on this. And we are going to give him his cute little, ooh, too much water. Okay, too much water. Ah, look at that. We can take that off of there. So, sucking the water out of this brush. There we go. We're going to bring this right across the top of that eye circle, the iris. We are going to soften this out a little bit, but I want to get a bit more of that circle around with a tiny bit darker color. Now I'm going to soften that and bring some of it down here and a little bit of it up there. See, we just work this color around. I'm using the brush kind of sideways. So I'm leaving a little bit of that lighter color. Come right across. And you'll go, that doesn't, I mean, you know, an owl doesn't really have eyelids, do they? Oh, this little guy, he does. He has kind of an eyelid. He has a bit of a circle around the eye. Around that iris. Needs to be a little darker. Grabbing a little bit of burnt umber. Oh yeah, see, I think I'll even take that right across as the shadow. As the shadow, right under there, little touch of burnt umber. And then you can soften this up. Boom, boom, boom. And maybe I got that a little bit dark. I can move it around. Make decisions, change things up if I want to. I can change it up if I want to. There we go. All right. I want to take a touch of the quinacridone gold. We're going to put a little bit of that down here in his chest. Get him a little bit of that detail. We're going to take some of that quinacridone gold up here. Little speckles. Kind of like a little spotted owl, isn't he? Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of that down here. Work it out. Feathery. Feathery, feathery, feathery. Every owl you do this way is going to be different. So don't get too stuck on, you know, it looking like mine. Make it look like yours. That's what makes them all special. Gives them their own little part of the world is theirs. Darken that up just a smidge right underneath the beak. Underneath of that, and down here under his under his belly. And then we are going to put just a tiny bit, little dots out here around the edge. This is a whimsical owl. It is not based on any specific little owl. He is just a cute little owl, kind of like a pygmy or a spotted, but not. I'm not looking at a reference, and you can probably tell I'm not looking at a reference. But you know what? I'm having fun. I hope that's what you're doing too. Have fun. Enjoy the time. I'm going to give him, let's see, I'm going to give him a little branch that he's sitting on. So we're just going to take it from the side here, right underneath of him, and coming over. Give it a little bit of a branch thing. Let the wing be over the top of the branch maybe. And then we're not going to worry about making his feet super realistic. Just some little claws holding on. Oh my goodness. He is so sweet. I do want, see, and now this is where I can get into a little bit of trouble. I tend to start doing more little steps. I want that line right there. I want that line right there. I want that line right there. And then pull those down. I don't want them to be so strong, but I want them to be there. I want that shadow. There we go. That shadow. See? Just have fun. Make this little guy your own. Give him a name. Share him on your social media, and make sure and tag me at Deliberately Creative, @Deliberately Creative, and I might even share your artwork on my stories on Instagram. So there we go. Okay, so now, because I'm not putting pen on it, it's like, oh, but I want to put a little bit of some black line in. I can. You just use the very tip of your brush. There we go. Dot, 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 dot. Oh yeah, right there. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, 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 dot. Little speckles in his wings. All right. I just realized after I stopped the camera that I had forgotten to put some highlights in his eyes. So I just used a white colored pencil and just dropped some soft white highlights just on the edge of the pupil so that it matches up kind of here. That's all I did. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with your friends. And make sure to go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye-bye.